Hey guys, welcome to the Moment of Clarity, Lessons in Leadership. I'm Dr. Williams, and today we're going to talk about proximity. Stay tuned. All right, guys, so let's talk about proximity. Listen, proximity is so powerful. This is not only a key concept for your life as a leader, this is a key concept for anyone if you want to move towards your goals. Listen, everyone creates goals with the intention of getting closer to them. Everyone creates goals with the intention of pushing towards their goals. Listen, there's an old saying that says, you aim for the moon, and if you miss, you'll land amongst the stars. So no one creates goals with the intention of not getting closer to reaching it, right? And so what I'm trying to teach you today is that if you want to get closer to your goals, you've got to manage the people who are closest to you. Let me say that again. If you want to get closer to your goals, you've got to manage the people that are closest to you. Listen, people that are close to us have the biggest impact, have the biggest influence on our lives. Listen, the people who matter to you have the biggest influence and impact on your life. Listen, and they impact the decisions that you make. Right? The people closest to you impact those decisions. They influence those decisions. And so it's imperative and it's important that you have people close to you that value what you value. People in your close proximity have to understand that I have to walk with this person in order to help them reach their goals, and they're going to help me reach my goals. Listen, the scripture says that two cannot walk together unless they agree, right? It's not that you're going to always be in agreement with everything with those who are close proximity to you, but two cannot walk together unless they agree to walk together. It doesn't matter if you always agree on everything. You have to agree that with the people in my close proximity, it doesn't matter what happens. It doesn't matter what we disagree on. It doesn't matter. I love you enough to continue to walk with you. So there are two types of people you need in your life to help you get closer to your goals. Why? Because those people help to determine the decisions you make. And the daily decisions you make determine your destiny. The daily decisions you make determine your destiny. Listen, so often I hear people say, I can tell you what I want to do in 5 years. I can tell you where I want to be in 10 years, but they can't tell you the next step that they're going to take. That's an issue. See, what you should be focused on, you should be focused on just doing the next thing right. Does that mean you don't have 5-year goals, 10-year plan? Yes, you can still have those things, but you need to focus on the daily decisions that you're making, because those daily decisions ultimately determine your destiny. So there are two types of people that you've got to have in your life. You've got to have them in close proximity with you. You've got to be in right relationship with these types of people. The first type of person that you've got to have in close proximity to you is those people who care about your well-being the most. Listen, most times and oftentimes, this is your family members. This may be your spouse, your husband, and your wife. This may be your children, right? This may be your siblings. This could even be your parents. You need to make sure that those people are in close proximity. Why? Because whether or not you like it or believe it, those people fuel you the most. Yeah. So when you are in close proximity, in right relationship with those people, they're going to give you all the fuel you need to get closer to your goals. Listen, they're going to fuel you. I remember Eric Thomas saying one time that when he was writing his dissertation, he put a date on the calendar and he called his grandmother and told her, I'm going to graduate on this date. Why? Because she was one of those people in his close proximity that cared about him the most. She was the one that raised him, that reared him, that taught him what he knew. And so if he could find a way to keep right relationship with her, she would give him the fuel and the determination that he needed to reach his goals. Listen, you got to have people in your close proximity that care about you and that are willing to disagree, willing to tell you about yourself, to move you closer to where you're trying to go. Listen, cherish the relationships you have with those who care about you the most. They have to be in your proximity. Listen, just a few weeks ago, I did a story. You can see it here on YouTube. I talked to my best friend, Wilmot Berry, and we're not Bible scholars or anything, but we talked about the woman at the well. And one scripture in that whole dialogue that Jesus had with the woman at the well says that he went through the town of Samaria. It said he had to go through the town of Samaria. And one thing that we found out is that anytime you're moving closer to your goals, if you don't have intentionality, you'll just meander around all the time. But he intentionally went there, right? And he met a woman that had the longest dialogue that's recorded in the Bible that Jesus had with anyone. And in that dialogue, what we find is that she became blessed. She was able to bless others simply because she had an encounter. She came into close proximity with Jesus. Right? So there are times in your life where you have to make sure you are intentional about getting in close proximity with the right people. Right? That brings me to the second type of person you need in your life in close proximity to you to reach your goals. Here it is. The second type of person you need are the people who are where you are trying to go. The people who are where you're trying to go, they can deposit so much into you that you can't get any other way. Listen, they say hindsight is 20/20, right? But those people can give you insight now that you would only get in hindsight on your own. Let me say that again. They can give you insight now that you would only get in hindsight on your own. Listen, you've got to have those people. Remember, I call them the 96 Bulls, right? They're my crew of people who have been, in most cases, where I'm trying to go, or they are now where I'm trying to go. And so they know they're going to get an email from me once a week. They know they're going to get a phone call. They're going to get a text message, because these are the people that I need close to me, because they will stop me from experiencing issues and problems that I can only learn from in hindsight on my own. Right? As parents, think about this. When you're a parent, your job is to not let your children learn the hard way. That's your job. Right? We all have that one child who, it doesn't matter how much teaching and training you give them, they're going to have to learn the hard way. Right? But it's our job to try to teach them and rear them up in such a way that they don't have to learn the hard way. Right? And that's what those people that's in close proximity to you, that are where you're trying to go or have been where you're trying to go, that's what their job is. Their job is to try to show you their mistakes, show you what they did, show you their downfalls, so that in time you can move past where they are. Listen, you got to have two types of people in your close proximity if you want to reach your goals. Listen, you've got to have those people that care and love you the most. And you have to have those people who are now where you're trying to go. Leave me a comment below. Like, share, and subscribe. And remember, if no one's following you, you're just walking. Until next time.